stay here and listen. Your life will never be the same. 'Cause we're talking with T-Bird now. And this T-Bird you cannot change. Oh, this T-Bird you cannot change. And things might get pretty strange.
Yes, that's right. Talking with T-Bird is back once again, and we have a amazing guest. What a get this was. We are going to be talking with a woman who we discussed in the all-time top 40 season rankings very recently on our panel. We talked about everything that she went through in Survivor Thailand. Ghandia Johnson is going to join us here today, and here's the woman who tracked her down. It is Teresa T-Bird Cooper.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
We have got a great one for today. Oh, my gosh. Just coming off of y'all doing the ratings podcast.
It's really exciting.
Ghandia Johnson is going to be really exciting. So this is all I have to say about this. Put on your seatbelts because Ghandia is fun, interesting, sassy. She said no subject is off limits.
Yeah, you've been talking to her ahead of time. And Ghandia is, ready to go.
She is ready to go.
Yeah,
she's ready to go, and she's the first time we've had her on the RHAP that she's been on RHAP.
Yeah,
so she's going to be fun.
Yeah, so excited to hear from her. Yeah, she mentioned that she'd listened to the podcast we did. She wanted to come on and talk with us. So very excited that we were able to line this up here today. Gandhi will be here in just a moment. T-Bird, this is actually the second Talking with T-Bird that we're dropping this week because we dropped the other day our conversation with Kelly Wigglesworth.
Yes, Kelly Wigglesworth. Oh, gosh. I could have talked to her for a lot longer. As you noticed, I think I tried to keep talking to her, and it was like, we're trying to wind it down. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really a very interesting one.
Yeah. She had to get, back to doing whatever with her kids. So I appreciate when people have time for us. It's tough when anybody has little ones.
I know it. She was great.
Yeah.
And I was really excited and surprised to get her. Today's quote get actually came to me. This is our very first Talking with T-Bird where I was approached as opposed to me stalking them. So kind of that's, other than her being the first time on RHAP, it's the first guest I hadn't had to stalk or track down. Mm-hmm. So wait a minute. Hold it. There you go. My ding wasn't dinging very good. So anyway, I'm excited about this. It's going to be great.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking with Ghandia in just a moment. There's going to be some serious subject matter discussed here on this podcast. So I just want to give you a heads up about that ahead of time. T-Bird, would you like to take it away and introduce Ghandia?
Rob, before that, I do want to say this. What a great sponsor today, BetterHelp Counseling, with the subject matter we're talking about. And also, I have to mention this week, because you and I we like to talk baseball, even though we're not quite in baseball season yet.
Yes.
We lost Hammer and Hank, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He played for 23 seasons, but 21 of those seasons were with Milwaukee/Atlanta Braves. He passed on January 22nd at 86 years old. So just want to mention Hank Aaron, the Hammer, what a legacy he's left behind. So I wanted to mention him.
An all-time great.
All-time great. Absolutely. And after he retired, he actually was on the front, still with the Atlanta Braves in the front office. So it's been part of Atlanta history for many, many years and will continue to be. Okay.
All right. T-Bird, we've got Ghandia on the line. Would you like to do the honors?
Okay. Our guest today was a huge fan of Survivor before, at 33 years old, she would be cast for Season 5 Thailand. Since the 16 castaways were dropped off separated by gender, they assumed each tribe would be divided by gender. But for the first time in Survivor history, the tribes were chosen by the elder players, Jan Gentry and Jake Billingsley, representing that age is an important part of one's place in the Thai culture. Our beautiful, spirited guest was born and raised in San Francisco, California, and has described herself as hardworking, strong, smart, open-minded, honest, and sincere. She has accomplished much in her 52 years, from receptionist, salon owner, legal secretary, telemarketer, fry cook, reality TV star, actress, to name only a few. But I believe she will tell us that her most challenging, most rewarding job has been being a mom to her amazing boys, Samson, age 22, and Savion, age 19. She would make the Thailand DVD cover, but the ultimate consolation prize as a fan, other than getting to play, she has said, is to make the jury. Unfortunately, this would not happen, and she would be voted out on day 12 after the controversial, described by some as, quote, Grindgate, where she has said she regretted how she played her situation after it happened and that her reaction affected her ability to go further in the game. After the show, she had to leave Survivor behind to get her life back on track. Quote, I had to look at my entire experience and draw from it everything that made me a better person, even the difficult things, even the things that I thought were incredibly painful at the time. They were happening. In retrospect, all of them had to happen to make me who I am today. And honestly, just looking at them, dealing with them, and talking about them, and not trying to hide from them, end quote. I am so excited and honored to introduce our guest today, making her very first appearance on RHAP, the girl who Xian Wang told me, I don't remember much, but I remember really enjoying our time together. She was a fun, cool chick. The one Rob, with 2 B's, Zabachnik said that in my entire life, she was and will remain the only person to ever cornrow my hair. The woman that Tanya Vance said is loyal, beautiful inside and out, and forever my sister. The one Helen Glover said made her feel special and loved when she organized a special celebration for her 20th anniversary on the island. And last, but certainly not least, the Lady Clay, nicknamed the Denver Diva. I introduce to you Ghandia Johnson.
Wow.
Hey, that was oh my goodness. I could die today. I could
What
die.
an intro.
After this, I could die.
Yes.
My goodness. That was
Hey,
beautiful. Hi, Teresa. Hi, honey. That was beautiful.
Hey,
oh
darling.
my gosh.
Ghandia,
oh my
this is so
gosh.
nice to have you here with
oh my
us.
gosh.
What a surprise it was, where we have been going through the all-time rankings of the Survivor seasons, and we
Right.
talked about what some of the listeners voted the 38th best season of Survivor. We talked
Right.
about it last week with our panel, and then we saw on Twitter that you had said that how you really enjoyed the panel. I said, this can't,
I loved
everybody,
it.
this is fake. This is, we're being catfished. This isn't the real Ghandia. The real Ghandia would have more than 48 followers.
Right. Well, that's how you know.
And it was you.
in my little shell, just hiding away, being a regular person, see? That's over now,
Well, that's
isn't
all
it?
about to change.
That's all over
That's
now,
all about to
isn't it?
change.
You're here now.
Yeah. So I have been on a couple online Survivor games. So I'm like, I think the season that I played online, it's getting ready to air on Instagram.
You played in a
And-
fake Survivor season, Ghandia?
No, baby, it was real. I was really playing. You need to stop that. Because you know that Survivor game is all in the mental.
Yeah.
It's all in your mind.
Wow.
So it was beautiful. It was even better than on the island
Yeah.
because it was all mental. It was all mental. And I was playing with fans, which for me was fantastic. And this last season, it has other survivors actually that were on Survivor that played the season. So it's getting ready to air on Instagram. I have to get the information. I'll give that to you.
Did people know it was you, or were you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody knew it was me.
Wow.
So people were fans of mine from just being a survivor, and people knew who I was. Some people. Yeah, it's really hot. It's a hot season because the dude that's doing it, he's gone to extensive lengths.
Mm-hmm.
He's built storylines for everybody. It's tight. It's really, really tight. So I'll have to give you the information. Fans will really like it because actual survivors were playing, like Karishma, right? Yeah. So these are survivors that I've seen, but I never met them. And I'm playing against them, honey. Ooh, the shade. The shade. And then fans get to see more of my talents because I had to write a song and I had to, do a little, PSA. We had to do things. I had to like participate in shit, and it was fun. Ooh, I can't curse. Huh? I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Can I curse? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, so Ghandia and Rob, let me send a shout out that helped pull this together, Ghandia. At Perks of Being HC on Twitter, she had sent you a message and said, you've got to get in touch with T-Bird and Rob. And also John Lee from Facebook said he sent you a private message.
Yes, he did, because he thought he said, do you have a Twitter account? Because he was suspicious because he thought it was fake too. Everybody thought it was fake.
Yeah. So
well, you're real. This is the real Ghandia John 7 is real. That's really you. You confirm that.
Yes. That's me.
Yeah.
That is me.
So thanks to Teresa and John for helping us pull you in. And also Ghandia did tell me, she told me that there are no subject limits.
That is
correct. So
nothing
is off limits. That's what Ghandia said, Rob. So here we go. Oh, Rob.
That's what Ghandia said, Rob. You hear that? That's what Ghandia said.
And Ghandia, I don't know if it's too late to say this because Rob has special rules for this, but your birthday was January 3rd. Happy birthday!
Yay! Thank you! 52. Yes. And I'm popping.
Yeah.
I'm popping.
Yes, you
pretty
are.
Popping for 52. Took care of my damn self.
So Gandhi, before we get down and deep into everything, I also I read that you love football. So tell us who you're pulling for: Kansas City or Tampa Bay? Who you pulling for?
First of all, never, ever, 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 ever in my life will I ever pull for Kansas City. Ever, ever, never,
Why?
Ever. Because Kansas City is a huge rival of the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Forever. And I have gone to Kansas City in my Denver Broncos drip and cheered my ass off for my beloved Broncos. I've been cursed out in Kansas City on 2 separate trips when the Broncos went to Kansas City for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes. No, ever, never Kansas City. They're a great team, yes. Shout out to them, but no.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay all the way, baby.
So
and I hope
process of elimination.
I hope they crush them. Tampa Bay, 100%. 100%. If there was more logically than 100%, I could say 200%.
Yeah.
That I will root for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You see what I did there? You see what I did there?
Even higher than 150%. Yeah. 200%.
That means it's sure.
We got that out of the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ghandia, so if you're playing in online Survivor games, and then T-Bird mentioned that you were a big Survivor fan coming in, have you kept up with the show all of these years?
Just recently. So the shows with like Karishma and Missy Bird, those shows are the ones that I was like interested in. Sorry, my son is playing very excellent hip hop. I had to get my charger. I'm so sorry. It's like I saw in a blue red suit. Okay, I'm actually online. That sounds fresh, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay.
That Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight. You know I raise my kids, right?
Yeah.
Shit. That's the jam.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes.
Ghandia is on her phone and moving around.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting now.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to paint the picture for people who are listening audio wise, because this is a fun adventure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes. So playing online, just with recent contestants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the most recent shows, specifically the one that Missy Bird and Karishma played in. I was very interested in following that season in particular.
Yeah, was that because of the issues that came up that people made the comparison to what went on with you in Survivor Thailand with the whole inappropriate touching incident that ends up happening in that season? Was that what sort of like brought you back into watching that particular season?
No, because there was a sister on there that was from Colorado.
Yeah, and it just so happened that this is the one you. This is the one you jumped into, and then all of a sudden, now...
And her and I are friends now. Like, she moved to, I want to say, Spain, Barcelona, with her girlfriend, and she lives in this super cute apartment. Oh, my God, so jealous. So we became friends, too, so I consider her a friend. She's a really
which
cool
cast member
chick.
was this?
Missy Bird.
Oh, Missy. Okay, so Missy lived in Colorado.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And just recently moved out of the country.
Yeah, and Ghandia, I have to tell you, I actually met her during the season here because she was living in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and I met her and saw her several times here watching some of the shows with her down here in Atlanta. So
yes. She's beautiful person.
So,
yes, she is.
Gandhi, what was your reaction to seeing that season? You know, you haven't been watching Survivor, and then you come back to a season that is, the most controversial Survivor season that there is.
Yeah, but it was so like exciting. It was, it was everything that I would want in that show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little dirty. It was a little grimy. There were like moments of extreme happiness, and then there were villains, and there were people you were rooting for, and there were sneaky people. It was just a beautiful mix of everything good and bad that I love about that show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's why with you all's podcast, you were saying how terrible my season was. I'm like, yeah, it was. I wanted it to be last. It deserves to be last to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, that season was just a mix of everything, and it was really good to attract the fans too, because of the dichotomy of the personalities and all the different twists of the show too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Gandhi, the fans voted that season last.
They did.
Yeah. They voted that season number 40. I said that I thought that Thailand should be 40.
Me too. If there was like a Survivor Rotten Tomatoes, like we would have it like 1 tomato.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be, because even though everything about it was just so whack, it was just like slow and it was boring. And I don't know. It just seemed like, and also it just, there were just certain things that they could have cut out to make it better overall. I think because there's things that have to happen in Survivor that have to give you some suspense. And I feel that just wasn't really present there. It could have been more, it could have been a lot better. So if you ain't going to be the best, I guess you might as well be that ass.
Ghandia, did it trigger anything for you watching it from what you went through after your show aired? Was that that difficult for you?
No, because now I'm in a place where seeing things like that are not triggering as much as just I'm looking at it through a different lens now. So I can look at it and absorb it and just really take it for what it is and analyze it. But it's not triggering where it's upsetting, but it makes me feel bad. It's really, the thing about that show and filming, they stress upon so much getting the real reactions and getting what happens as it's happening. And then in that, I think they lose the fact that things are really happening to us as people. Right. And so when I see something that's kind of duplicative of what happened to me, it makes me really feel for, the people that went through it. Right. So that's what makes it bad, because fans don't want to see that. They don't. They want to see the challenge and the games and how the people are interacting to try to, you know, get their way to the top, and they want to see a villain, and they want to see, oh, this person's always honest, and maybe a love story, but they don't want to see things like that. I think they want to see dramatic things, but I don't think they want to see things that affect people so deeply.
Sure.
And could affect people for life. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Ghandia, when your season started to air, I want to know, did you watch it? Did you watch each week? Rob and I just did a conversation with Kelly Wiggles from Borneo, which I know you're, as a fan, you know Kelly. And Kelly never watched, has never gone back and watched her season because she was so disappointed with the results. She's never watched it back. Did you watch each week as it played out?
Yeah, we had watch parties, my dumb ass. We planned watch parties, and I couldn't say anything, you know, about what happened. I had to be quiet because I was under, you know, restriction. So I'm going along and planning these fabulous watch parties, like the first premiere, and then every week, and then the week that it happened, we're at a watch party.
Yeah.
So it's happening where everybody's seeing it for the first time, that whole scandal thing. So yeah, it happened. It was so horrible. It was horrible. It was really tense. It was really tight. It was really, it's like the worst thing that you could ever imagine with your loved one, right? And that this is happening, and you don't know how it's being edited. You're seeing it for the first time too with them. And I felt an obligation to do that with my husband. And I just went ahead with the watch party because I'm like, you did it. You did it, so you might as well watch it. Everybody should know. I felt like that was a part of me getting through the healing, right? Wrong. I was wrong. I'm not a doctor. I just play one sometimes. Yeah. But it was, everybody watched it.
How do you wish you had handled it, since you said that way was horrible? How would you go back and change that? I would have
rather had it just be my immediate people watching it, right? So that way, okay, this happened, let's talk about it, and now let's talk about how we're going to deal with it in the public with our friends and stuff, right? Because that would have been better, right? Because then my husband would have known before everybody else knew. My close friends, my sister, everybody, my family would have known all of that happened before everybody else knew. So
it was really hard to go back and watch to see the way that you were treated in that season. You know, it was, takes place over, the course of 2 different episodes where it's going through like the initial incident and then ultimately how the tribe handles everything. Do you feel like that the show did an okay job in like telling the story of how the events happened, or do you feel like that the edit was totally whack?
Well, they did the edit totally whack, but I understand why they did it for ratings. Yeah. But I thought it was totally fucking whack. Like, it was the one thing that Chappelle said on the podcast that I agree with 100%, or maybe it was the other guy with the glasses. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
David.
Don't tell him I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Not him, but the other guy with the older gentleman with the glasses. What's his name?
David.
That it was on. Yes. Okay.
David.
Sorry. Okay. So either he or Chappelle said they should have stopped production. They should have asked, "Are you okay?" They should have, got somebody in there and talked to her. And I agreed with that 100% because at that moment, I felt like everything was imploding all around me. Yeah. And as a fan, I knew that I was really fucking up exposing it, right? Because I knew that what I was supposed to do as a fan was not to say shit until the jury or some shit. Yeah. That's when you should spring it out, because that's when you have the receipts, right? That's how a fan should play. And as a fan, I was trying to do that. And then I was like, okay, this will work if he admits it. I was trying to play out so many scenarios in my mind. And then I just was so hurt and triggered from everything. Just like, my husband's going to find out now because I went in the fucking confessional and I told, like, if I wouldn't have said shit in the confessional, then it wouldn't have came out. But then it would have still came out because it still fucking happened, you know? And it was like horrible. It was really like the one, I can truly say that was one of the worst things that has ever happened to me in my whole entire life. And I'm a very open sexual person, right? And I can admit and say that I was trying to gain alliance with that man for a reason. So as a fan and as a player, I strategically have planned out where he was placed in me advancing myself. But when that happened, it was like I felt that all of the power that I had given myself had been stripped away. And so then for me, the only way for me to get it back was to talk to him about it. But then it was like, I'm still in the game and then he's still in the game. So how much of it is real? And this is fake, what he's saying.
Yeah.
And they're airing it. And I felt like I was dying just in a game way and in a real way. And it was so, it was devastating for me. It was very devastating for me. Yeah.
Hey, Rob, let me take this opportunity because I really love what Chappelle and Ghandia, you just referenced Chappelle when y'all did the countdown for the ratings podcast. Chappelle's gave the national sexual assault hotline number, which I thought was a beautiful, very, very great thing to do. So I'm going to do that again now. Taking his lead, it's 1-800-656-HOPE. If any of this conversation is bringing up anything difficult for you, turn us off if you need to turn us off. If you want to continue listening, and there's a number, hopefully that will be helpful if you need it.
Yeah, thank you for that, T-Bird.
Yes, thank you.
1-800-656-HOPE. All right, Gandhi, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yes, so it's good, and just to piggyback that, it's really good to talk to someone about what happens to you as soon as it happens, as soon as you are comfortable to talk about it. And the more that you're able to talk about it and release it and get the tools that you need to heal yourself and deal with it, the better you are. Because holding it in and just keeping it and to yourself and thinking that that's what you're supposed to do, I can tell you that is 100% incorrect. And you need to talk about it, and you need professionals, and you need people to help you balance yourself mentally. Mental health is something that really Black people or African American people don't subscribe to, and they need to, and we need help sometimes. And even just not being Black, if you have been affected by a traumatic sexual experience or raped, and you're dealing with that, you need to work through that. And it's okay to have help, and it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to work through it. And you can be okay. It gets better. So.
Yeah.
And Ghandia, I think I had seen where you put so much blame. You think, what did I do? Did I cause this? And so you have to kind of talking to somebody will help you see.
Get past that.
You did not cause it. It's not your fault.
Right.
And this,
So
thank you for that.
Yes. And at the end of the day, no matter what it is, if it's not okay with you and it's not, then it's not. And that's just simply what it is. And there's no excuse that explains what it is, right? Because there was a lot of that. And they aired that shit. And that was, it's just like getting slapped in the face like over and over and over, right? So, but that's the choice that they made. And it sucked. And that's why it was one of the worst. And that's why the other episode is the worst because they did that same bullshit. Yeah. And actually fans don't like you really playing with people's lives. That's not entertaining to people, the majority of people. That's what those ratings say about that. You see what I'm saying? That's what that says about that to me. That's my opinion, but that's why.
And Ghandia, unfortunately for you, I'm not sure that it was so new to the franchise way back then that now with season 39, I'm hoping that I think the franchise has learned a lot on how to deal with this, Rob. Do you agree with that, Rob?
There were a lot of new policies that got put into place after the season 39, the Island of the Idols, where that there are now like third-party counselors that they haven't filmed a season since then, but that is the plan now moving forward, in that if anybody ever has an incident like this, there is like some sort of a person that's not with the production and not with the cast that can talk to people and sort of, get to the bottom of what's going on.
Right. Because the thing is that when you're looking for characters or personalities, as this show does, you have to think how those personalities were born, what happened to those people to make those personalities, as they like to so colorfully say. Right. And some people have really deep shit about themselves, and if those things come out, you have to deal with those, being responsible to the reality TV Survivor brand. We want to see competition. We want to see a little drama. We don't want to see people's lives getting all destroyed. That's uncomfortable to watch. Just like when you were saying you were watching it and cringing, or Teresa or anybody said watching it, anybody that said, "Oh, so cringe, it's cringing." People don't want to see that. Yeah, they don't. There's a small pocket of people that like that shit, but the majority of people, and especially for the Survivor brand, being a fan, I don't want to. We don't want to see that. Yeah, we don't. So.
And really, the second part of it, when we went back and watched these episodes, was the way that the tribe really worked to cover it up, especially the men in the tribe. When Ted talks to Brian, and Brian is like, "Oh, okay, hey, look, you said nothing happened. Okay, that's it. That's nothing happened.
That's car salesman. That's car salesman shit. That's that car salesman talk. Oh, yep, buddy. Whatever. Yeah, we can finance you. Yeah, that's that shit." You know what I mean? Yeah. That was his whole game. That was his whole rap. His whole rap throughout the season, that was that car salesman shit. Right? It's not surprising. That's what he did. Oh, no problem, buddy. We'll get you the financing. You just sign here on no problem. We'll get rid of that Ghandia model. We'll get another, no problem. That's what it was.
Rob, should I not be laughing? Should I not be laughing right now?
You should be laughing. That shit's a joke. That shit's funny. And Ted's like, "Oh, thanks, boss.
Hey,
thank you, boss. No problem. You'll be driving a brand new Denali. A couple more episodes. We'll get rid of that old Ghandia model. She's a jalopy anyway." That was that shit.
Hey, Ghandia. So he traded your model out on day 12. Your model was taken out of the game.
It broke down.
Okay, so so day 14, there was an offer of mutiny on day 14. If you had been in there 2 more days to day 14, would you have done anything differently? Would you have mutiny? Would that have happened?
Yeah. Yes. I would have bounced. Are you kidding? Bye. I'm sorry. I gotta go. And then the people that I was down with, I'll see y'all in the jury, but I can't survive over here. This is Survivor. I got to survive. Bye, y'all. I'm later. Oh, God, cheers. That would have been a good ass episode. God, leaving. Yes, I am. I gotta go. I'll see y'all later. Deal with that one over there. I'm over here now. Yeah, I would have totally dipped. I would have left so fast. Yeah. So super fast. I would have had those feet like in the Roadrunner where you give them all that dust and shit. I would have been gone. As soon as they said Ghandia, pew, that's it. Ghandia's going pew. That was it. I would have seen them on the jury. Only if.
Ghandia, when the shows aired, I feel like that they treated your situation like almost like, and Jeff even says this in the reunion show. He's like, "Hey, that's what happens on Survivor." Like it was like sort of like, "Oh, this is just like wacky stuff that happens on reality TV shows."
Kooky. Look at the kooky, zany, crazy. Oh my gosh, it's so
You never know what'll happen. Yeah.
I didn't get bit by a fucking stingray, bro. Right. That's zany and wacky. Where someone has to pee on your leg. That's zany. That's crazy. Yeah. I got groped at night, asleep. dead ass asleep, woken up to being groped. That's not zany and wacky. That shit ain't. It's just like, you know, just to reflect. I know what happened, and for it to be minimalized to such a small degree as that, and not knowing that was going to be said at the reunion, you know, because they call you beforehand and, oh, well, when we talk to Ted and blah, 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 is everything going to be okay? And, you know, what you going to say? You know, I couldn't be like real Ghandia. No, it's not going to be motherfucking okay. No, it's not okay. No, don't matter. Don't matter what you're saying. Don't matter what you do. No limo, nothing. I had to go. So I'm going, and I'm gonna try to act my best. Right? And then you say some goofy shit like that. Goofy ass. You know what I mean? It's like no sensitivity to the shit, because it was like, it was already labeled. They already had it, how they were going to play it. So now we're at the finale, and now spontaneously I have to do it. You know, I have to go through it. Right? That's that reality TV zing. It was horrible. You know, it was just like, I'm cringing too and trying to look beautiful and smile, and watching myself. It's just like, I just wanted my current self to just go on stage and just hug her. Yeah. And say, listen, baby, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. These guys are fucking dickheads. All right. So just make jokes about his butter teeth some more or something. Just, just wild out, because they don't give a fuck about you. So just go ahead and it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody. Go get a therapist right now after this show and start talking to somebody today. And you're going to be okay. Because I just looked so, oh God, my face, and I remember that. You know what I mean? It was terrible.
And Ghandia, as a mom, you have your boys, 2 small boys, and at the time they were very young, but your boys now, I think I mentioned, at 19 and 22, have they watched it? And how do you talk to them? What do you tell them when they're watching this happen to their mom, if they've watched it since, as older young men?
Yeah, I don't think my kids have watched it since. I don't think so. I think they watched it when they were little. I remember they were both going to the same preschool, and I would go and drop them off in the morning, and all the little kids wanted to talk about the show every day. And after the show aired, with those 2 shows aired, all the little kids were talking about that Ted man was mean to your mommy, and they were talking about eating their graham crackers and shit. It was crazy. So they already lived through it, when they were little. So I don't know if they watched it again. I guess we would have a conversation about it. But now they're adults. Yeah. So the conversation would be, much better. So I'm fortunate, and I feel very grateful that they were the age that they were when that happened. And then also, that was also part of the reason for me going into really hiding for all those years, because they were growing up, right? Those were all their formative years. And so I didn't want to be in the spotlight as Survivor, with my kids at stake, with my family at stake. You know what I mean? So I just really dipped out. That's why everybody thought I was a catfish. Yes. I was marinating.
How weird is it now to have so many people like going back and watching these old seasons of Survivor, where that for a long time, and I played right after you did, it was like your season of Survivor aired, and then nobody ever saw it again because there was no way to ever watch it. And now with all these streaming platforms, people are watching these seasons of Survivor for the first time.
All over the country,
and on social media, like you're getting like live reactions of people that are watching the shows for the first time.
Yes. It's like, I think it's amazing now in the world we are in now that people are watching it. I think it's a safe space now with what we know now, and how people are more in tune with things now, how more conscious and woke people are now. I think it's a good time for people to be able to watch this and talk about it openly, like how you all did. I think it's an amazing time, and it's getting a lot of play, and I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. as a fan of the show, it's like, you know, if every day is a sunny day, what's a sunny day, right? So we have to learn from the things that maybe were not great and improve upon it. Mm-hmm. You know, so that for me, I'm looking forward to watching the next season as from the day all the way through. Yeah. That will be a thing for me. So I guess it's great is my answer. I answered the question, but then it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
But Ghandia, thank you for coming on and being open and wanting to talk about it. I mean, that makes it great as well. So thank you,
yes.
thank you. If I hadn't said that already.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. So Ghandia, it really is my pleasure. Yes.
The only one from your season that has played again was Cheyenne.
Right.
Is there someone, other than yourself, because we know you should be out there, is there anyone other than yourself that you thought should have played again, or they still might, that you'd like to see out there again?
Rob, for sure. Yeah, Rob for sure.
Bob, with two B's?
Yeah. What's that? Yes, Rob with two B's.
Yeah.
Zabachnik.
Yeah. And
Rob Zabachnik.
Ghandia, did you travel with all those people after?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so where did you guys end up going on that trip?
So they took us on like a little tour of Chiang Mai and Pai and what is the main in Thailand?
But you stayed in
Chiang
Thailand.
Mai, Pai. Yeah, we stayed in Thailand and we stayed at really nice hotels, and they had a whole Ponderosa built on that little island for us. So everything was brand new, and they took us on tours to different malls and sightseeing, and we went bungee jumping, and we did a whole bunch of stuff, and we did a lot of drinking and talking, and it was really dope. Yeah. I thought it was really great. So I got to hang out with all of those people that got voted off first. We just all got to really know each other. Yeah. So that was dope. Yeah,
because sometimes there's a lot of conflict in those pre-jury trips, but it sounds like that your group mostly got along. Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. We did. We were a cool bunch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really dope. It was really fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ghandia. Yes. I had mentioned that I had reached out to a few of the people that played with you. Oh my gosh, I've got pages of here from people that have reached out from your season telling these crazy, wild stories about your trips together. Rob with two B's, Cheyenne, Tanya, they all sent me all this kind of stuff. And all of them send me different things. But all three of them, and I'm gonna let you tell the story. All three of them told me the same story of something that happened to you out there. Do you know what it is that all three of them told me?
Does it have something to do with a motorcycle?
Well, yes, all of them mentioned that, but all of them mentioned first. Go ahead.
And I think it had to do with a very tall man from New Zealand with blonde dreadlocks that we met in a little bar.
This is a different story.
You're going off in a different story, but I'm thinking I like your story better, where you're going with it. But no, this is about bungee jumping.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Tell the story.
The story was that I busted all the blood vessels in my eyes because I kept my eyes open when I hit the water.
Yeah.
And that I was cursing a lot when I was going up and down on the bungee and when I finally jumped off. And it was like over 300 feet. I was terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was saying I was a superhero and I'm fucking awesome. And I'm a motherfucking superhero. And I cursed a lot. And I was very, very scared. And my eyes were jacked up afterwards. Mm-hmm. And they had to take me to the hospital. Because my eyes were like all like bloodshot, like I had been in a fight, like people had punched me in the eye. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I remember.
Cheyenne said Cheyenne was like she wanted to bungee jump, and Cheyenne's like, who wants to bungee jump in a foreign country? Not me. But Cheyenne says you look like you had two red devil eyes.
It was.
And for the whole trip, everybody kept looking at you and yeah. and even Rob was saying the same thing, but he was saying that you guys were all pretending that you spoke the language, which of course none of you spoke the language.
Only a few words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we only learned a few key words, but yes, we were.
And Tanya was saying how you taught her how to twerk.
Yes.
Way before it was popular.
Yeah.
Way before. Did
you invent
that was
it?
way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling her, I was just teaching her how to move her booty.
Yeah.
To move, to pop it.
Wow.
Just to pop your booty. Then now it's twerking.
That was 2002.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I just had kids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Teaching people how to twerk. Okay. I can still twerk. With the best of them. Don't get it twisted.
So
I would
Rob,
do the busted challenge if my kids would let me, but they won't.
Yes, T-Bird.
I was going to say, their trip, from what everybody's told me, it sounds like they had the greatest time and they got to know each other. And again, Ghandia, like I said, Sheann and Rob, with 2 B's, and Tanya speak so highly of you, and of course other people too that weren't on the trip.
Well,
so
I hate to say,
like y'all really
you left all the boring people for us to watch, Ghandia.
I know. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm sorry.
All the fun people went on the trip.
Yeah, it was dope. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was so much fun. Me and Sheann were roommates at one of the places.
Yeah.
And she had to use the bathroom and she had to poop. And so she went in there and I was just, and she was like, turn on the TV. I need to turn on the TV. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, because I was watching TV and trying to figure out what they were saying. Mm-hmm. And I was like, girl, I'm not paying attention to you taking the shit. But she wanted to, we had to always turn on the TV and she had to turn on shit to take a shit. She might not appreciate that, but I remember that. I was like, oh, I'm not paying attention.
Sheann didn't share that story
she didn't mention
with me.
that to you, T-Bird?
She
left that out?
That's
weird.
She did not.
Yeah.
Take that out.
Left that out. Hey, I'm just going to jump off of Sheann.
That was the first night we were roommates. And I was like, I just thought it was weird. Because I was like, okay, you're just pooping. It's just no problem. I don't care. I know what you're doing.
Right, I'm going to give Sheann a break. I'm going to give Sheann a break. And listen, who reached out to me when I reached out to him was Brian.
Really?
Oh,
really?
He got back. Yes. He got, He got, because we kind of put this podcast together kind of at the last minute, which I'm so glad we did, by the way. But he got back with me this morning, and this is what he wanted me to ask you. This morning, he got back with me. He wanted me to ask you, when you see facial wipes, do you think about the times out on the island, or are facial wipes off your shopping list because you loved them out there?
Facial wipes?
What does that mean? That's what he says. LOL. I don't know what it means.
Because those are the wipes that we use to wipe our something.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord. I took this in the wrong direction. Brian.
They had it in, I think that's what he's talking about. That's what I remember, because they were in that medical box.
Yeah.
And in the medical box, you went and you was taking care of your thing. And oh my gosh, if you were on your cycle, Lord have mercy. I feel sorry for any female on your cycle that has to go on that show. Mm-hmm. So the facial wipes were they were delicious. They were fantastic. And I think I used to go back to the tribe and tell Brian how much I enjoyed wiping with the facial wipes. I think.
Okay, so Rob, I'm sorry. It was a great segue from Sheann to Brian. I didn't know it was going to be, but okay.
It was a luxury. That was a luxury with all that sand and stuff. That was a luxury. So yes, I do.
All right. So how about this? Brian wants to know if you still chew vitamin C lozenges like they're Skittles. Is this going to be clean?
No,
I'm hoping this is clean, Rob.
I think so.
Yes,
I think that sounds kosher to me.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was another thing in the medical box. Was vitamin C's.
Yeah.
And I used to take a gang of those, and because I was so paranoid about, I didn't want to get sick. I didn't want to catch anything. I wanted my immune system to be really high, and I consider myself to be kind of an older contestant. I just had a baby. I just finished breastfeeding. My youngest son, really a couple months before I left, and so I really was super paranoid, and I would just eat 10 and 12 chewables, a gang of them. I would just eat a bunch of them. And so I think what everybody else did, they would go to the medical box and they would see like probably how many wipes I use and how many fucking chewables, vitamin C. Because I was eating them things like candy and they tasted good. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. They were like my candy too. So I'm sorry. I was trying to be healthy and they were.
Yeah, somebody got in trouble on my season when that they were like, somebody like ate all of them one day. And the production is like, who ate all of these? We're not going to give you them anymore. You have one a day. That's it. Somebody's pulling a Ghandia out here.
But the thing that production didn't think about, like, I really like worked out like super hard, like right before I went on that show. But I am like, I'm a fat girl inside. I like candies and, I like good things to eat and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I'm on the island and there's like nothing good to eat. There's nothing that a fat girl likes to eat on an island. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Not one damn thing. And then you get vitamins. You're like, and then you get one. You try one at first. You're like, I need this for my health. and then you're like, oh, I'll take a second one because that'll make me more healthy because I'm 33.
Right.
And then you're like, damn, these motherfuckers are busted. These are so fucking good. And then you take 5. And then you're like, well, it's CBS. They're going to have a bunch of them, so I'll take 5 more. That's what goes through anyone's mind. So that fool just had one, and he probably was hungry as he just ate the whole damn bottle. Production probably was.
So Ghandia, let me stay on Brian for one more second. What did you think about him not being on S40 Winners at War? Were you disappointed? Were you that Thailand wasn't represented? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that our season, we were in what was called like the splash years. Like, so the first 5 years, that was, that's when this season was really hot, right? So you should have a representation, I thought, from at least the first 5 seasons, right? So I was a little disappointed that there was no representation from our season, but that's okay because I'll just get on the next All-Star. Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and just bust out, win that motherfucker. And then the fans will be, satisfied and pleased. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah. So if you're playing Survivor on Instagram, you would definitely play in real life, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you do now at 52 compared to 33? Because I know you've learned a few things from when you played before, but how would you differ? What would you do differently?
So mentally, I'm really like sharp with it. Mm-hmm. The nuances of playing the game and, getting people to, be on your side and do things and help you and when to, cut people and things of that nature. So I'm really good with that part. And then the physical part, I'm pretty good too, because I'm not too bad with the body and the shapes. You dig? And so, so I think, but the most part of that is the mental part is, I think, the part where I would really excel. Yeah. So, yeah, I think I would do very, very well. And I'm still in that gym. I'm still busting it out. Not in the gym. Yeah. But I did, Orange Theory Fitness and yoga.
Are you still
and
twerking?
I do a lot of, yes, girl. I told you I wanted to do the Busted Challenge and twerking. Yes. So please stop saying that like my grandma, T-Bird. And twerking. Honey, are you twerking? And twerking? Yes, Nana. I said, you're twerking. Yes, Mama, I am twerking. I asked my son I asked my oldest son if I could do the Busted Challenge, and my son goes, only if I cannot see it. You can send it to your private friends, and that is it. And my brother doesn't want to see that either. And I was like, well, what the hell? Well, I want to see it. I want to do it so that people see it. What the hell? I don't want to. I'm still going to do it. Wow.
Ghandia, I just thought this just came to my mind. What did you send in for your audition tape? Had you applied more than one time, and what did your tape look like?
No, I only applied one time. Mm-hmm. And when I did my tape, it was just me taping myself, just doing stuff that I do that I thought would be advantageous for me to be on the show. But it was a comedic take on that. So no, Grandma was not twerking. Twerking was not part of my audition tape. Let's just get that part. Do you want to ask one more time just to see if my answer is different? But this was not twerking. So I was saying there are certain things about me that would make me a great contestant on Survivor. Like, I'm a great cook. I can make anything taste delicious. So I had these frozen, a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. Yeah. And I had a pot on the stove, and I turned on the gas, and I lit the wrong burner at first. Mm-hmm. I was like, then I just went, then I put the peas in there, and then I was like, I also, the letters in my name, I made a song about why I would be ideal. So G is for the da-da-da-da-da, H is and at the end it was like, Ghandia was made for Survivor 5. And then I was like, how do you spell Survivor? Ghandia. Like, yeah, it was super corny. And then I had, at the firm that I worked with, we had a production department, because we would produce like tapes and exhibits for litigation cases. So I was friends with one of the guys in the little production department. He was also a Survivor fan. So he helped me to like cut it together. And we would sit in the little production room at the firm. We was cutting together, and he helped me put the graphics on the shit. It was very honest, and it showed my comedic side. And I think that's one of the things I also said, like, I can make people laugh, or, and so I really just focused on what it was about me that would make me ideal to be on the show. Mm-hmm. So I didn't put on anything. I was just like being myself and just kind of being a little goofy. And I remember when I was there for the final selection of the contestants at this hotel in Santa Monica, and they call you up to the penthouse to, to a meeting, and they don't tell you who's in there. You know how it go, Rob. You know how it go. Mm-hmm. And then you sit in the room, and here comes Mark Burnett. And oh my God, I felt like my heart was exploding inside of my chest, like for real. And he said to me, quote, "Hey, Ghandia, we loved your tape." I was like,
yes.
Okay. And then he said, so how would you deal with being away in Thailand? I'm like, I have a really good support system, and it'll just be taken care of. And I'm like, well, we want you on the show, but you're not in as good shape as others, so just take that into consideration. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, did this motherfucker just say I'm on the show? Did this motherfucker just say I'm on the show? Did he just say I'm on the show? And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, all right. And I was like, bitch, I'm not gonna eat shit else for the rest until the show starts.
Just vitamin C.
And then just vitamin C. And then he says, now I want you to go back to your room and don't say anything. All right? Don't say anything to anybody. Just go back to your room. And I said, well, can I call my husband? Yes, you can call him, but you don't say anything to him. All right? Just go back to your room quiet. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm looking forward to, nice to meet you, Ghandia. I was like, all right, see you later. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Then I hit the door, and I'm like, I'm walking back to my hotel room, and I'm like, just act normal. You're really normal. Doesn't matter. Get to your room. And as soon as I got in my room, I was like, then I called my husband, and it was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And the thing about it was, from the time I saw the first episode, from the time I listened to the Howard Stern show, and he talked about it, and I watched the second episode, I think, because he was talking about it. And from that time on, to have watched all the shows prior, and to apply and then go through it and get on the show. And that it was just a major milestone in my life. It was just like nothing else could describe that. It was just like, pretty funny.
So Ghandia, what did you think? What did you think when the DVD cover came out? And there
were. I did not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect that. I did not believe it at first because I think a fan told me about it.
Yes.
And I was still in recluse, and I was like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I thought it was, someone made it, because fans, they make a lot of things. They're very creative.
Big fans.
You love them. Yes, they make a lot of things.
There's a Twitter account that just constantly tweets, "Bring back Ghandia."
Oh, I know. Oh, cute. Yeah. I got to find that one today. I'm going to follow that account today.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow that account. Yeah, so they make a lot of things, so I thought it was just like a hoax, and then it's real. That's a real thing. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
To be a fan and then be on the cover, and then it is like the second to the last worst episode. This is major. I made it. I have made. Wait till my next high school reunion, man. Shit. Amber Rose ain't got shit on me. I'm gonna do that damn busted challenge. If I get 1 million followers, I will do that fucking busted challenge. I don't care what my kids say. Challenge you all, man. If I have 1 million Survivor fans, I am going to do the busted challenge, and I'm gonna get in trouble with my kids. But I will do it, and it'll be fabulous. Booty shaking, everything. I got a nice booty for 52. I'm not trying to say nothing, but it is. It is.
That'd be kind of like twerking it. You be doing the twerking then?
Yes. Yes, Nana. Yes, Nana. Yes. It's kind of like twerking it. It's kind of like, but it's more like rocking, kind of. You're kind of simulating what you would do in the biblical sense. Yes. Okay. Nana. Yes, a little bit. So it's more dropping it and twerking and rocking it than just twerking.
Ghandia.
All right, followers, you heard Ghandia. Give us your Twitter name, Ghandia. Give us your Twitter name right now, several times.
Okay, all right. Hold on, that's a lot. Okay, hold on. That's very. That's a lot because I'm on my phone. And
it's Ghandia John 7.
Okay, Ghandia John 7. Ghandia John 7. Ghandia John 7. Ghandia John 7.
Yeah. What is the 7?
Follow me. Huh?
What is the 7?
7 it's a lucky
John
number,
Elway?
but it was no, it was my husband's favorite number, and John Elway's number, but it's really my husband. It was my husband's favorite number.
Yeah.
So I thought it was good to put on there.
Okay.
And it looked like it's not real Ghandia account because it's got a 7. It looks weird. It looks like somebody who's a fan,
like a catfish account, right?
And it worked. So I've effectively catfished myself for 30 years. That's what I did.
In 2007,
wait, can I just stop you? I just want to stop you really quick, Teresa, because Rob is really like giggling. Like I'm making him I think he has a little crushy crush on me. Because he's like, look, you see how he's laughing? Like little giggly, giggle.
Ghandia, Rob.
I'm just, I'm off of it.
Yeah.
No,
look
Rob
at T-Bird. This is he likes this all the time. You know that. Yeah.
I know. No,
yeah,
I don't. Ghandia, I do not hear him all the time giggle, but when I hear him do it, I know he really likes something. He's got the cutest laugh, the cutest giggle. And you are,
it's adorable.
I think he does.
All right, let's try to get back on track here. We need to talk. We need to talk about the 38th best season of Survivor.
Hold it. We're talking about. She was in a movie. I'm doing a spinoff on the number 7. 2007. Yes. She was in a movie called "Don't Call Me." Yes. Tell us about that. You're an actress.
I know. It was. The thing was that it was the director was a super fan of the show of Survivor, and I was just doing local stage acting, commercial acting here locally in Denver, and he sought me out to audition for this movie, and he said, I wrote this movie and I wrote this part and you would be perfect in it, and come and audition, and I swear it'll be great. And so I went and I read the script, and the script was funny, but it was like kind of like a budget movie, but it was still it still seemed like something that it would be fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be able to act and not be like a reality person. I would be able to like act. And it was a movie. And, you know, we went to Boulder. I went to Boulder every morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. And we rapped every night, like 11. And it was fun. It was a fun thing. My character's name was Sandra Oh. And I work in a telemarketing company, but I also run my own business within a telemarketing company, which is sex operator.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the actress Sandra Oh.
Correct.
Yeah.
But at the time, the character's name was Sandra Oh, and I was a huge fan of Sandra Oh.
I Googled it. I was like, oh, she's in this movie too? From Grey's Anatomy?
No,
yeah.
I wish.
And Killing Eve?
Be a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Be a whole different conversation.
This is your co-star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gandhi, just to go back to the way that Thailand started, it started with a draft of the 2 tribes. Were you excited when you saw the group that you were with? Did you think that you were with a good group?
Yes, I did.
Jan did a good job?
Yes. I thought that she picked a really good tribe. I was really happy with how she picked that because we had a balance of younger, older, you know, good, solid. I thought, you know, people mature wise, you know, and then we had some youth. So, and then we had some athleticism, and then we had, you know, more intellect. And then we just had like a really annoying person. So we could use him, you know, to combat the other team. So it was
who's that? Is that John or Clay?
Clay. You know, it's Clay. Come on now. Yeah. So it was good. I thought it was a good balance of people.
Yeah, because in the first episode, you seem very annoyed when you go to look for the water with everybody. And then John comes back and says, hey, everybody, look, I found the water. See that swamp? That's our water. Yeah, and he's like, gotcha. And you were not happy. You did not think that was funny.
No, that's not funny. That's like the most unfunniest thing you can do, right? We are on, and ain't nobody giving us nothing. We need water.
Yeah.
And this fool's like, you see that there? That's the swamp. That's the water. Okay, what? No, that's not funny. I was so annoyed. It's annoying now. I think about it. It's so annoying. I'm so annoyed.
Was that why he got voted out?
Probably, yes. Yeah. 100%. 100%. I campaigned for that, honey. Yes, you got to go. But he was campaigning for me to go first. Yeah. Because in that challenge, how I totally lost all my bananas. And then finally got, but when I got that knife out, that was a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was sad. Because I felt that I really lost that race, you know, because we had gained a substantial lead. But that puzzle was just. So anyway, so I cried. I was very emotional. And so he campaigned to everybody that, oh, she gets too emotional. She goes, what? And I was like, that motherfucker played a trick on us about the water, the dirty ass water. Remember that? Remember that shit? And then it was simple. It was easy. I cried. Is that the reason? Oh, okay. He did the prank with the dirty water. Remember that? He was all thirsty.
Gandhi, do you have any good stories about Jan? That speaking of nanas, Granny Jan,
total nana, 100%. But she's the nana. She's the cool nana that, you know, you can go to brunch, champagne brunch, and she'll just have a whole bunch of mimosas, or you can go and have like a margarita and some, you know, chips and queso with her, and she's just a blast. And so we bonded. We really did. She's just a great woman. She's just fantastic. I love her. There was one point where, you know, we had gone through a couple tribals, I think 2, because, you know, the third. So, and we knew that the pickings were getting, you know, kind of slim there. And we were sitting there, and we had made this kind of salad or ceviche kind of looking salad of some clams and some crab that we made with some seaweed. And so we were sitting eating it out of this bamboo dish. And I remember saying to her, I said, well, we are hanging on. And she said, yep, by our fingernails, but we are hanging. And I was just laughing so hard because it was exactly what the tension felt like. Like we were on the edge and our fingernails are the only thing really keeping us grip. Mm-hmm. And, you know, much to my surprise, it was my grip that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she was really good. Yeah. She was like the grandma you would want to be stranded with because she was just fun. She was always light. You know what I mean? She was always happy and she just made everybody feel good. She was just, you know, and she was she was like pretty good for her age.
Yeah.
Man, she was getting around, you know. I wish she would have, you know, she was good. She was awesome.
Would she have beat Brian? Let's see. Jan was 53 when she was playing. Would she have beat Brian?
Yes.
You think?
If she would have made it, yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, Brian almost lost to Clay.
100%. I know.
Yeah.
That was close.
If Ghandia had been on the jury, Ghandia, didn't you say you would have voted for Clay?
Yes.
If you made the jury?
Mm-hmm. Really? I'm very surprised.
Well, because Brian was a car salesman guy.
Mm-hmm.
Brian was car salesman guy. So for me, it was like, I just saw the game he was playing. I just wasn't impressed with it.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, voting for the person at the end is the person that I would think played the game the best, according to me as a fan. So I'm looking at it from a different way. You know, yeah, he finessed and all that, but he was playing a car salesman game. He was a car salesman. So I wasn't impressed with that. That makes me sound kind of like, but that's honestly, yeah. I would have voted for Clay. And then also this whole thing. Oh, well, that's what you said. And that's what that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
So there was that part.
Yeah. Clay talked about how that he said he looked at you from the start. He could tell that you were going to be a problem woman, that he would have, he said you were having a tantrum, that his 2-year-old, that he would, whoop its ass and go and send it back to bed.
Yeah. Well, he's from the South.
Yeah.
That's how white men talk like that from the South. He's an older white man from the South.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's how they talk, you know? And he was right. I was trouble from the start.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that whole thing, just the timing of when he said it at that time, he didn't know what I was going through.
Yeah.
Right. So that's his ignorant perspective of what that's relative to his experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's, you know, he didn't, that whole thing was like everyone took that shit super lightly.
Yeah.
I felt like everybody took that shit super lightly, but me.
Yeah.
So everybody's reactions to what I was doing, you know, was their real reaction.
Yeah.
So, you know, he felt like I was having a temper tantrum and maybe an ass whooping would resolve it, like I was a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that speaks to his character.
Yeah.
And how, you know, that would, and if I think about it empathetically, like if it was me and someone was screaming like that, I'd be like, damn, what's going on? What the hell?
Right.
But I knew what was going on because everybody talked about what was going on. So I wouldn't have reacted that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would think something's wrong with her.
Right. You had spoke to the women, and Ted was talking to Brian, and who knows what he knew about what was going on.
Like it was like a game of telephone. So who knows? And then if he didn't like me from the beginning and he could tell that I was going to be trouble, that's really all he needed to like already like cement his decision that he already made.
Wow.
But that's casting. He was cast for who he was. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody was cast for who they were for a reason. You know?
And I'm wondering, I think, didn't Helen and maybe even Jan say that they really didn't understand Brian's game until after they watched it back, and then they kind of, I think, regretted their vote. But you're saying all along, just playing with Clay those 12 days, you realized that you already had Brian dialed in after 12 days.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe that you were the person that like had the right read on all of these guys and like sort of like could suss out like what Brian was doing, and then because none of these other people did.
Yeah, because being a fan of the show and just watching people, that's a natural thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I felt that I had the advantage because I was such a fan of the show and analyzing it in every season before this one, the one that I was on.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that I was at a specific advantage anyway. But then it was very easy for me to pick out what everybody was trying to do, especially him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then in the beginning, I think I vaguely remember we talked about what we did for a living.
Yeah.
When we were talking to each other.
Yeah.
And he said he was a car salesman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think he says it in the opening when they talk about like whatever. He's like, I work in the glamorous field of used auto sales.
Mm-hmm.
Like he told everybody.
Yeah. And so that, so knowing that, and then I'm like, okay. So automatically my mind is like, so a car salesman operates a certain type of way to sell cars. Right. And maybe sometimes you sell cars that maybe aren't the best car for the person, but you're still going to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in my mind already from the beginning. And then just how he was moving, it was just a good plan how he was moving. He was just working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Selling things to everybody.
Ghandia, can I ask you, how hard was it when you had to try and move Chuay Gahn with the rest of your tribe?
Ugh, that dummy was about 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, and I kept on asking, like, how heavy is this? It was so heavy. And they had that challenge at the hottest time of the day.
Yeah.
And it was, it was just so heavy and dead ass weight. It was the worst.
It was
dangerous.
The worst. Like you had to carry it up a hill.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
And I had these stupid ass Tevas. That's the day I decided to wear my stupid Tevas. So my friggin' Teva kept on, the strap was busting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get a good grip with my feet. It was terrible. That thing was so friggin' heavy. It was terrible. Terrible. And it was so heavy that not all the guys could carry it. Like everybody had to pitch in to carry it. Ugh. Chuay Gahn. And then I was like,
it's a good name.
Why did we and then I was like, why did we decorate this stupid thing? The whole time my the sandal is off. I'm holding, it's terrible. And I'm telling myself, and your dumbass thought it would be a good idea to put a face on it. Ooh, let's decorate it. Stupid. We should have been doing some push-ups, deadlifts. Should have been doing some squats.
Training. Yeah.
We should have been training.
Taking extra vitamin C.
Figuring out how to carry this right. Yes. Stupid. That's when fashion and glamour goes wrong. It don't work in a while. The hell. Let's make a crown. Stupid shit. I was like, you're a dumbass, Ghandia. This is some dumb shit.
Why was decorating it so bad?
Decorating it was a terrible idea because it did not prepare us for anything that we had to do with the dummy. Nothing. The clue, we didn't read the clue or nothing. My goofy ass just said, well, let's put a face on it. Let's name it. Stupid. We should have been trying to lift it. How heavy is this? Let's try to carry it. Something.
Practice. Yeah.
Dumb.
Hey, Ghandia, I wanted to ask you this when we were talking about you doing the screaming and everything when you were so frustrated with Ted, understandably.
Yes.
Did your taekwondo, I think I saw something when I was reading about you that you learned that screaming is something you do without fighting and injuring someone. So was that maybe what you were doing when you were so frustrated with the screaming?
I wanted to release all of my anger in a way that wouldn't harm myself or anybody else. I just wanted to release that frustration, because it was a lot.
Right. But you were trained in Taekwondo from your father.
Yes.
Right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it was really just, I just needed to release. I just needed to release all of it that was built up from the conversation right before, because I felt so frustrated. Like I really wanted to punch someone. Right. And so I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go away and off and then just let it out. I had to just go and really tap into that training to really just center myself and release it. And that's how I released it, just hollering at the top of my lungs so that I could come back and just be not so volatile. Because I was amped. I was lit.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most angriest I've been in my life. That's one of the most angriest times in my life that I've been. Because I just felt so helpless. Like, oh, you know what I mean?
You can feel it.
It's not real. It's not real world. It's a game. You still got to play a game. You know, you got to calm your ass down. What are you going to do? Oh, I know, Ghandia. Scream at the top of your lungs. That won't alarm anyone else on the tribe. Do that. Mm-hmm. It's just like, but in retrospect, it wasn't a good decision. You know, perhaps meditating or something, but I was so angry.
Yeah, I just think it's so hard to try to then put that through the prism of but how do I play Survivor also at the same time? I mean, it's night and day in terms of like the two different things that you're trying to do.
Yeah, and you're trying to compartmentalize what you have to do in the game to what you're actually feeling in real life.
Yeah, and you can't.
Which is no.
Yeah,
because you're a person. You're not actually a sexy robot.
Okay. So Ghandia, what you're telling us is you kind of needed a judge or somebody out there to come out and take charge of it. Okay, so I'm going to transition over to Judge Judy, 1996. Okay. Tell me about Judge Judy. Tell me about
that
Judge
was a
Judy.
Segue.
Segue. I know sometimes I say that word wrong, so I transitioning's a little easier at times. But yes, okay. Tell us about Judge Judy.
Judge Judy was a situation that I got into with a gentleman where he owed me a particular amount of money. Mm-hmm. And I felt that was a proper recourse to get my money in case he was unable to pay it. Mm-hmm. And then I also thought the story might be interesting enough to where I could get on the show and perhaps recoup my money. So that's what I did. I went out on a lamb.
Did you?
And I put myself out there. Yes, I did. I did win the case.
Okay.
Yes. Hold on a minute.
Yes. Good job.
Yeah. All right. So is Judge Judy as feisty as she seems like she is?
Super spicy. She's super spicy. Because at the end of my case, I had one more claim that I wanted to, and she said, nope. And I was like, okay.
That's it. That's it.
You know how other people be trying to like, oh, well, judge. Nope, not me. I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of that case, she started with the defendant, which is unprecedented, so I knew from the beginning that it was going to go well. So I love her. Oh my God. Just being there in her presence was just like, it was just one of them. It was another major milestone in my life. Yeah. I was super starstruck. And Bert.
Ghandia, how much research do you think how much research does she know about your case, do you think, before you get in front of her?
Oh, you send in all your...
How much preparation do you think she's done?
Yeah, she's prepared. First of all, she's like one of the brilliant minds of, our current generation, in my mind. She's very accomplished. She's extremely brilliant. And you have to send in your complaint and supporting documents before you appear, before you even get there. Mm-hmm. So she has time to look at your case and see what the complaint is, what the answer is. So it's like a real courtroom. She runs it like a real courtroom. The only difference is the cases that she picks, but she's legit. She's professional. Yeah. Yeah, it was just like being in a real courtroom, but just with a goofball over here as a defendant. He did not bring one single piece of paper to that court appearance.
That's not good?
One piece of paper. No. That's horrible. That's terrible. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do that? You know? And I was and when I saw that, I immediately got so pissed off because I'm like, I know this motherfucker don't think that he's about to win this case without one stitch of paper. And I had my little, organized little notebook. I was ready. I was ready. So it was awesome. And then she goes, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to start with you. And I was like, oh, shit, this is going down. I'm about to win. It was awesome. It was so awesome. It was so awesome. Girl, he was trying to lie. He was trying to lie. And I said, that's a lie, Judge. She's like, I know. I was like, oh, my God, Judy's on my side. I'm so happy. Yeah, so that was a great thing. And then the trip, they paid for the hotel and airfare and all of that. And I got to bring someone with me, too. So it was nice. Nice little getaway.
Ghandia, had you paid attention to the diversity casting initiative that they had announced from CBS to now start to have a pledge to cast 50% of all the reality TV casts on all the TV shows are now going to be Black, Indigenous, or people of color?
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I only suggested it 20 years ago. I only suggested it 20 years ago. Thanks CBS. You guys are awesome. Man, your processing time is, I guess I should have expedited it. Maybe I should have expedited it. The fuck? Okay, that is you got the right brain Gandhi answer. I'm going to give you the professional answer.
Yes.
Now. I think that CBS is doing a fantastic job of realizing that diversity is important because their viewers are not merely made up of middle-aged white men, but they cast a variety of people across the United States. And I'm very happy that CBS is on board with those efforts. Yes, motherfuckers, 20 years later. Yeah. 20 years later? Are you serious? I have a son. A whole son later, that's when you do it?
Well, Ghandia, maybe if you've been on Twitter all this time and you hadn't disappeared for a while.
Nana. I'm sorry, Nana. I need to twerk this out a little bit more. Just one more. 20
away.
Okay, you know what? 20 years later. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all a slow clap. Here we go. Here it is. Thank you. Good job. All right. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, T-Bird. That was a great question, Rob.
Thank you.
Great question.
And that was an even better answer.
Thank you. I remember talking to Burnett about that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What did he say?
Oh, well, we got to go with our demographic or people who are watching. And I'm like, but I'm here. I'm a fan. There's people that look like me that are fans. They look like everybody that watch the show. Oh, well. Okay. All right. Okay, well, don't listen to me. Now, look at where we are now. Now, here we are. Goofy. Goofy shit. Thanks. All right, I'm over it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Thank you for letting me have that moment.
Thank you.
What happened to T-Bird?
Yeah, T-Bird. What happened?
Where is she?
I was letting her finish twerking. I was letting her
She was
twerk
done.
without me interrupted. God,
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? Okay, so Ghandia, how do you think Jeff is doing from when he started from season 5 up to now? Do you think he's evolved in, just how he does his job, if you've noticed, or how he looks, whatever you want to share with us. I'm not going to hold you back in any direction.
I think that Jeff has a very consistent host style, which I think is important for the brand.
Yeah. Where's the left brain answer?
It's time for her to do somebody. His cheeks look too chiseled. I mean, come on, eat some bread or some potatoes or something. Put on a couple pounds. You know what I mean?
He's too skinny.
He's just skinny. Like, we like, because he's a fine man. He's a very attractive man. I told him that to his face.
Yeah.
Okay? But you got to be a little, you got to be a little fluffy. We don't want to chisel all the, he's too skinny. He's too thin. You need to eat some potatoes and go to bed and eat some ice cream. He needs to eat something. He needs to get a little, in the face, just because it makes you look
keep those
older.
Dimples.
Yes. Oh, his temple. Cut glass, honey. Come through with the dimples. But he's a little thin. He can put on a little weight. Get a little sexy. But yes, I like his consistent posting style. Because the reason why is I love to hate him sometimes. Because there are times where he doesn't show the contestants like any mercy, and that's his job. Like he's very much, that's one of the reasons why I love the show is what he does. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
I think as the seasons have continued, Ghandia, he's more passionate. I mean, if somebody's going to quit or if anybody, you can see it that he is not happy. He does not hold back with that. And I'm like you, I'm a fan and I'm thinking there's so many people that want to be out here.
It's not for quitters.
You know
how many people be fighting? There's people that be fighting to be on this show. Like there are people that, I've talked to fans that have auditioned, 4 and 5 and 6 times, 10 times. Like people, they really want to be on this show. And then you get on it and then you want to quit? No. There's no quitting in Survivor. Like there's no crying in baseball. You don't get on there to quit. You know when you get quit? When you get bit by a damn poisonous snake. You gotta go. You know what I mean? You know when you quit? When you accidentally slip and fall off the damn mountain. Now you gotta quit. You dig? That's it. That's how you quit. You die. That's how you because it's called Survivor. You didn't survive, bro. You did not survive. That's how you get out.
I hope if I die on Survivor, they don't call it a quit.
No, right. No, yeah.
I thought that would be insult to injury.
Hey, they savages, man. Yeah, Rob quit. He
Twitter
quit because he fell off the cliff.
Quitter.
Damn. Such a quitter, couldn't stay alive. Dumbass. Gandhi got bit by a king cobra with her quitting ass. Dummy.
Oh my God. Hey, Gandhi, I can't believe you just said that because Tanya told me that y'all had a king cobra at Ponderosa.
Yep,
and y'all were scared to death. And
we were scared to death because it was like we were in my room, or maybe I was in her. We were in a room. Because it was and the king cobra came up right up on the damn. It was a glass door, and he just raised up and opened his. I still have that picture. I took a picture of that. I have a hard picture of that, not digital. I have to find it. And that motherfucker was for real. The fangs out, and I was screaming. I was like, "He's right there at the door! The snake!" It was like right there. The only thing blocking us and that snake was this pane of glass. And I don't know Thailand glass. I don't know if it's like strong. I don't know. And I don't know if the snake can bust through the glass. I don't know. A king cobra just right outside the door. And you can't shoo it off with a damn broom. This ain't Mississippi. I don't know what to do. Yeah. That shit was scary. That was terrifying. And then when you sleep in that night, you're like, is that motherfucker gonna come back and just like bite me low key, like when I was sleeping or some shit, like slither in my room? Yes, where is it? I didn't kill him. I wanted to kill that snake. Better kill that snake than Mark Burnett giving us all this pointers on how to walk because the snakes are everywhere.
Yeah.
And so he said, when you walk, you make sure that you walk, you stomp. So that'll scare the snakes away. I don't know. And then I'm like, but don't they move by vibrations? So my stupid ass, I'm trying to walk like an elephant, stomping my ass off everywhere I went at night. Please do not come in this room. Because I knew I was meaty and juicy. I'd be a good meal for a snake or somebody to come eat me. No. And then I'm like, isn't stomping attracting the snakes? Isn't that telling them where I am? They can feel my vibration? I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
You make sure you step with intention. Okay. Because if you get bit by a snake, we ain't gonna get nobody in here to help you.
Yeah,
you're essentially quitting.
Yeah,
that's a quit.
We told you how to avoid the snake. You didn't listen. That's a quit.
And now you quit.
You did it on purpose.
You know how many people would love the opportunity to be on this show? And here you go, getting bit by a poisonous snake.
Yeah, couldn't avoid
how
one snake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. T-Bird, what else do we have for Ghandia?
I'm having a time
oh
of
my
life.
God. I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
You guys too.
Ghandia, you're on fire.
Can I be on a guest on the podcast one time? Okay.
Well, what else do you want to do?
I'll wear lashes for you, Rob. I'll wear lashes.
Yeah, I'm the only person that we were not doing video for this, and I'm the only person that got like this was like so many more percent.
I
didn't want to put a number on a percentage of how much better this was with the video. Caught myself.
So you've been able to watch Ghandia. You've been able to watch Ghandia this whole time.
No, Ghandia is a performer that so many times that there was a visual accompanying things that was hysterical.
Already told she's an actress.
Yeah.
We already know she's a performer.
And I am vivacious. Let's not forget that part.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. This is amazing.
Sassy. Yeah. And you're sassy.
Yes.
I love your sassiness.
And what else, T-Bird? I know how to
twerk it, girl.
Yes. Thank you.
Twerk.
Thank you. Yes.
Twerk.
I love the way she says
Ghandia.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I want to. It's Rob. Do you remember sometime last year when we were going over our guest list? I had mentioned Ghandia's name, and Rob, I hope you're okay with me saying this. Ghandia, Rob said, I'm not sure because Rob is very sensitive in a great way.
Right. And
he's like, I'm not sure.
That's why I love him so much.
He's the best. He's the best. He goes, I'm not sure how it's going to make her feel with what she went through. He was very sensitive. And I'm telling you, because I brought you up to him, you know, last year when we started these podcasts. So you were on our radar then, but because he was thinking of you. And then when you reached out in your bubble bath, saying you wanted to come on, it's great. And I also remember seeing something that you had said that Survivor is not something I did. Let's see, what did you say? It's something I did. It's not something I was. Thank you so much for being part of this. You have been a delight. Hilarious.
It's my pleasure.
You've been hilarious.
I want to come on when the news, when you guys do another.
So when we talk about season 41, that you want to talk about it. That's exciting.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm watching it. I will give you some funny ass commentary. Yeah. I'm living for it.
Yeah.
I'm living for it.
Wait a minute.
I think the fans would like it too.
That's assuming she's not on season 41.
Okay. Oh. You know what? I don't know. I can't.
We don't know.
I cannot say.
I hadn't heard that rumor yet.
Well, you didn't think I was the real Ghandia on Twitter either, did you? Now, okay.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Ghandia Johnson is on Twitter at Ghandia John 7. Only 999,950 followers away from the Busted Challenge.
That's right. Oh, I love it how you pronounce the T. You're so adorable. And then on Instagram, it's I am Ghandia J. Is that right? Or is it I am Ghandia Johnson? What is my Instagram? I think
it's I am Ghandia Johnson.
Yes, it is. I am Ghandia Johnson on Instagram. 1 million followers on either one. No matter. I'll do it. I'll do the Busted Challenge. And it will be fantastic.
Let's make this happen.
Yes. It'll be fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to see me drop that booty? Give me some followers. Busted Challenge. Survivor Ghandia. Get into it. Thailand edition.
Yeah. I want to get your Denver Broncos takes.
Yes. I'll give
anything.
It to you. I'll give it to you.
Drew Lock. Drew Lock, is he the guy?
No. I don't know. He's got a great name to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Because he sounds like it sounds like a wrecking ball type of name.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Lock, right? That'd be dope. We'll see. He has the potential to like be awesome, but then he has the kind of name that if he sucks, then Drew Lock. It could go either way. It could be really awesome, or so he's really got to he's got to come through. I have faith. I always have faith in my Broncos, so we'll see. They survive through my fandom. Yeah. So yes, I will give you my hot take.
All right.
Whatever you want, Rob.
Gandhi, anything else you want to say or tell us about?
I just want to thank you for having me on the show. I look forward to the next time. You guys are amazing. I think the content that you're producing on here is really amazing, and it's good for the fans. Yeah. And it's a little extra, dessert to the meal. I really like what you guys are doing here. And
it's like a vitamin C.
Yes, it's like 50. Yes, after your meal,
the salad. Yeah,
like 15 of them, and it's it's just amazing. And I'm out now, so if fans want to reach out, I'm ready for that now. So it's awesome, and I'm glad to be back. Yeah, and I'm so glad that I could come on.
Gandhi is unlocked.
To let everybody know I was back. Yes. Oh, and I got to let you know about that that show on Instagram.
Yes.
The Survivor show.
Playing Instagram Survivor.
Yes, Instagram Survivor, and it's run by the Survivor Addict.
So we'll keep an eye out for Gandhi on Instagram
it's a season
Survivor.
Coming up. Yes, the Survivor Addict. There are other actual Survivor players. It's a virtual Survivor game. The content is nice and juicy, honey. It's juicy. Super juicy. You'll love it.
Okay.
It's going to be good. Yeah.
Okay.
The Survivor Addict.
T-Bird, anything else?
No, Gandhi, thank you so much. The fans are going to be thrilled. Your very first time on RHAP. They're going to go crazy over this.
Yay.
Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Anytime. You guys, anytime you want me, you can call me. I'm at your disposal. I love you guys.
Okay.
To the moon and back.
Love you too, Gandhi.
Right.
Thank
Gandhi,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Gandhi.
Bye.
All right, T-Bird. There you go. Ghandia Johnson.
Yes. Oh, is she a ball of energy? Is she entertaining or what?
Yeah. That was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
She did nail it. And I know the listeners are going to love her. I didn't know she hadn't been on RHAP before.
No, I mean, that she hadn't been many places before.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Doesn't do a lot of stuff like this.
I know. And it's exciting to think she's coming back. She wants to be out there. And I know her fans, which I know she's got a lot of, are going to be thrilled. We're getting ready to watch her Twitter account explode. Yeah. It's going to be great.
She's about to go off. It's going to be great. All right. Yep. T-Bird, what's next for you?
Next for me is our next guest.
Yes. Okay.
That's all I ever think about. You know how that is.
Sometimes you text me and I'm like, boy, it's very late on the East Coast.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a night owl. And that's when I do my best work, or I'm doing my stuff at night. So it works out great. And then in the morning, sometimes I'll think, like Glenn said something about, well, you need to follow up with Rob about the podcast and how we're going to hook up. I'm like, baby, it's really early there. So I kind of have to watch that. But at night, it's fantastic. It works out beautifully. So. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
and I wanted to do an update on John Raymond, because John Raymond was on, the season.
Yes, I know Thailand. He had been in the ICU.
Okay, so I talked with Tanya this morning, Tanya Vance, on John Raymond's update on his COVID situation, and so this is from John Raymond. Thank you all for your love and prayers. I'm so fortunate to be part of this Survivor family. I love you all so much. After 2 weeks in ICU and another week in a recovery room, I'm finally home recuperating under the tender care of my wife, Liz. I will have to use a portable oxygen tank for a couple of months as my lungs repair, but I am alive and healing in the right direction. I truly cannot thank you all enough for the love and support you have shown me. Words cannot express my feelings. Please keep the prayers coming and stay safe and warm. That's from John Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
So prayers still going out for him during his recovery.
Yeah. I had seen in the Survivor Facebook group, that he was had a rough battle with COVID, but happy to hear that he is in the right direction.
Yes. So he's at home now. So that's right there in itself going to make him feel a lot better just being home with his family. So prayers for John Raymond.
All right. Well, T-Bird, thank you for that update.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you to Tanya Vance for getting me that update.
Okay. All right. So T-Bird, we've got more Talking with T-Bird coming up next week as well. Back with more.
Yes. 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 And I'm excited. I know I'm excited about all of them. That's what you're going to say. And it's true.
I was going to say that I think it's great that you were able to track down Ghandia, and in such like a close conjunction with what we were doing with the top 40 season countdown. And so when there are opportunities to talk to people that come up in our season countdown, this is, great to have the Talking with T-Bird as the companion piece for what we're talking about on the countdown.
Well, I don't want to take credit. I cannot take credit for this one on the being a bounty hunter because she actually reached out to me with the help of some of the listeners. So,
take
I was
some credit,
really,
T-Bird.
really
Take
excited
credit.
when
Take
she
credit.
did. I'm like, well, I really, I can't take it for this
you
one.
Brought
I
it
want
home.
to, but I actually. Well, no, okay. This is exactly how it happens. This is who's getting the credit right now. So here we go. You kept pushing, so here we go. When you and Sasha Joseph, Chappelle, and David Bloomberg did your top 40 ratings podcast for season 38 for Thailand, she listened to it, and she got when I talked to her after I reached out to her, because she reached out to me first, she said after listening to this podcast, for her, it was a, quote, breakthrough. And she literally was crying to me on the phone that this had touched her so much that y'all had felt for her, and that you felt like, I think even Tanya Vance had told me that she thinks she had gotten a bad edit. That the way y'all presented all the information and the situation that happened to her, it was a breakthrough for her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it started. So actually, you four get all the credit on this one.
Okay. Well,
all the credit.
Thank you, T-Bird, for that. All right. This is a all-timer on the Talking with T-Bird. Great job once again. And then T-Bird will follow T-Bird on Twitter. She's at T-Bird Cooper. You're not going to make a video for the Busted Challenge, are you? No.
Well, I don't know about that, but I am going to make a video for Ghandia. Absolutely. Right. I have to. I mean, we have to listen to, it's Ghandia.
All right.
Somebody you might think, I don't know, but yes.
T-Bird, great job.
Ghandia is a yes.
Let's take it away with a special Talking with T-Bird outro from Murph from Twitter.
Rob and T-Bird are here today to talk to those who've played the game. From Borneo to Cagayan, we'll find out what went right or wrong on Survivor. Talking with T-Bird.